Baltimore's got a chance on offense to take the lead late in this game on the road. Morrow the snap. Pass rush coming. Throws an outcut left to the tight end Mackey. Loses the ball, forced by Shell. Boy, this Steelers defense has been the storyline today. Broncos a four-man rush. Brady is back. He cocks and throws over the middle to Dante Stallworth. His first catch of the season is a 56-yard touchdown. The 49ers win the game on an impressive scoring drive. They march 65 yards in less than 2 minutes and win the game on a Mike Cofer field goal at the end of regulation. Week 7 of the Dream Season Football League 4. In the American Football Conference standings, the Baltimore Colts, by way of only tiebreakers, have the edge over the 5 spot currently held by the Miami Dolphins. And as the Colts host the 2013 Seattle Seahawks, they are in a free fall right now to the AFC. They could be out of the playoffs entirely with a loss today at home. 59-yard gain to Miller starts off the contest for Seattle. Then Wilson finds his other tight end, the rookie from Rice, Luke Wilson, scores the first points of the game, 7-0 Seattle. Then following a Baltimore 3-and-out, the Seahawks down the field again. Wilson, 87% completions, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns, hooks up with Jermaine Kearse. The Seahawks led 14-0, and their defense preserves a 17-10 win. Baltimore's defense has been the primary culprit of a 4-game losing streak. Opposing quarterbacks have flourished against the Colts this year. With the Baltimore loss to Seattle, the Dolphins would be the 4th spot out of the AFC with a win at Pittsburgh. And for the Steelers offense, 16 pass attempts on 20 total snaps, including this 51-yard pass to Lynn Swann, would lead 7-3 midway through the 4th quarter. Larry Zonka crossed the century mark. He had an excellent performance of the veteran from Syracuse, but this time a rare stop was delivered by Pittsburgh's John Banaszak. Dolphins go for it on 4th and goal with 2 minutes to go in the game, and Morrill is sacked by Lauren Toews. That would be a common theme today. On 3rd and 7, here's Bradshaw for the win. The pass down the field is incomplete as John Stallworth was tangled up with Dolphins safety Dick Anderson, and that's up to you as to whether that indeed is a good call or no call per se. On the return, Charlie Lay spins to the 42-yard line, which means Miami needs 58 yards to win the game against Pittsburgh. In the rain at Heinz Field. 18 yards demanded starts the drive. Then Morrill hooks up with 13 to the veteran out of Ohio State in Paul Warfield. But here's Wayne Moore, the left tackle for the Dolphins. He holds on the play and nullifies a 27-yard pass to Paul Warfield. Instead, Dolphins on 3rd and 12. Here's Morrill, who steps up, then is taken down by Lauren Toews again, which catapults a 4th and 18 Steelers possession, where with the false start, the Dolphins would have 1 more snap to go. Miami 8 penalties in the ball game, Pittsburgh with 1. Earl Morrill goes for the win, and the pass is incomplete. Miami drops a heartbreaker at Pittsburgh, and despite the quarterback change to Earl Morrill, the Dolphins remain last in the league in yards, passing, and first downs. Denver has been rolling at 4-2 out of the AFC, and they go up against the worst team of the DSFL for the 1-5 2002 Oakland Raiders. Elway launches a pick 6 to the veteran from Boston College, Bill Romanowski. He plays on 3 DSFL 4 clubs and makes a huge play. The Raiders lead 13-3, but with 7 seconds to go in the first half, Gannon fires a 69-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. And for an offense that is the league's lowest scoring team through the first 6 weeks of the year, with 9 points or less in every game this season, Raiders lead 20-3, but Elway connects with McCaffrey on a slant. 16-yard touchdown pass to the veteran from Stanford pulls the Broncos within 2 scores, but Elway delivers an ill-advised throw, picked off by Torrey James, who returns 83 yards for the clincher. Oakland scores more points in a game than any team of the DSFL 4 with a 29-10 beatdown and must win at least 2 of their final 3 games to make the playoffs. St. Louis sits atop the NFC at 5-1 and visits the 2-4 Chicago Bears. Rams clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight and the top seed of the NFC with 3 wins, including this contest tonight against the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Walter Payton, by his standards, has had a dismal year, but rips off a 75-yard 40-yard touchdown to begin the game. Bears up 7-3. St. Louis with under 2 to play first half. Drive down the field, but Warner throws an interception to the young quarter from Arizona State, Mike Richardson. And this is against the best yardage, rushing, first and third down team of the DSFL 4 offensively, the St. Louis Rams. McMahon launches a 10-yard TD toss to the youngster from Tennessee, Willie Gault. And at the half, the Bears lead the Rams 14-3. After a field goal from Wilkins, St. Louis drives led by Marshall Faulk, who has had video game numbers this year. This, of course, is a video game. 492 yards and 3 touchdowns on 72 runs for Faulk. Here he makes his 10th catch of the year, then requires a shoestring tackle by way of William Perry to save a touchdown, but the Rams would punch it in 2 plays later as the rookie Justin Watson jumps in from 5 yards out. Failed 2-point conversion, the score is 14-12. On third down, the Bears go to a pass, and McMahon hooks up to the rookie tight end Tim Reitman out of UCLA. Chicago wins the game and knocks off the top team of the NFC 14-12. The remaining schedule for Chicago is brutal, beginning next week against the 5-1 Patriots. With the St. Louis loss to Chicago, Green Bay could take the top spot of the NFC with a win over San Francisco in Lambeau Field. And Favre throws 3 touchdown passes in the ballgame, hooks up with Beebe for the first to tie the game at 7. Then Eugene Robinson intercepts Montana and returns 35 yards for the go-ahead touchdown. Favre would throw 3 TDs in the ballgame, the second in the back line of the end zone to Freeman. Then to ice the 28-7 win, Favre finds Mark Chmura for his 3rd touchdown. The quarterback comparison wasn't even close. And now Green Bay is the top team of the NFC and drops San Francisco to 3-4. They're the 3 spot of the conference, but only by tiebreakers over 3 other clubs in the National Football Conference. Brett Favre has been sensational this year. The loser of this game is in bad shape at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. Rippon begins the ball game by throwing a 3-yard touchdown to Gary Clark, knowing that the loser of this contest drops a game and a half back to the playoff spot of the NFC with 3 weeks to go in the regular year. 14-yard completion to Clark. This is at a 12-yard hookup to Terry Orr, and the Redskins orchestrated 8-play, 89-yard drive for the 3rd quarter, chewing up 3 minutes and 14 seconds. An excellent drive led by Mark Rippon, capped off by a 17-yard scoring strike to the tight end from Auburn and Ron Middleton. Late 3rd quarter, Cunningham hooks up with Moss for a gain of 24. Minnesota converts a 4th and short with a 4-yard gut run for Robert Smith, and the Vikings get in the red zone after a completion to Glover. Randall Cunningham, who had his best drive of the ball game, throws a big strike of 21 yards to Chris Walsh. But then Minnesota stalls in the red zone. This is a stretch run left of 2 yards for Leroy Horde. Minnesota goes for it, and Cunningham's toss to the end zone is deflected by Edwards, intended for Glover, and Washington shuts out the high-powered Viking offense, 14-0 Redskins. And they are one of the 4 teams of the NFC locked up at 3-4. San Francisco, due to their record against the NFC, leads that bunch. After Denver's recent loss, the Chiefs and Patriots play for the right as the #1 seed in the hotly contested AFC. 14-yard touchdown from Dawson to Garrett gives Kansas City a 7-0 lead. But the performer of the week, 2nd-year tailback from Minnesota, Lawrence Maroney, rips off a 71-yard catch and run, then an 80-yard gut run for Lawrence Maroney for a go-ahead dazzling touchdown scamper. 14-10 is lead for New England late 3rd quarter. Dawson orchestrates a promising drive. First to check down to Mike Garrett, and the speedster from USC gets hit at the end by Pierre Woods, but picks up a Chiefs 1st down. But on 4th and 4, Dawson's throw is incomplete, intended for Pitts, and now Gloucester Richardson searches for a big play to spark this offense, but he loses the ball, forced by Harrison, recovered by Merriweather. New England would wind up chewing up all but the final couple seconds of the clock after that nasty collision from Rodney Harrison, and now with a 7-point deficit, this throw is for the game, and it's incomplete. The 2007 New England Patriots are the first team of the DSFL 4 to clinch the postseason. The Patriots are now 6-1. Well, the New England Patriots are the top offense in the AFC, but the St. Louis Rams by far and away have more yards than every other team in the DSFL 4. And St. Louis will tangle Denver next Sunday. In what is a loaded week in the Dream Season Football League 4, Green Bay also searches to clinch a playoff spot as they will play the Oakland Raiders, a club that could be eliminated from the postseason if the Raiders do not win next Sunday at home. This is the DSFL 4 with Charger Dude 95.